What up, YouTube? Knowledge of self-determination. Back at you guys with another one. It's been a couple of weeks since my last video. And since my last video, there have been a lot of things that have happened just in the past few weeks. There's been a lot of things that have happened. There have been a lot of things that have transpired and occurred. More black people have been murdered by white supremacist cops. And now people are uprising in the streets. So let's talk about what we know about the current uprising. What we know is that the brothers and sisters out in the streets right now protesting, rising up against this white supremacist system. What we know is that black people are fed the fuck up. Black people are fed up. The black youth are fed up with the garbage, with the bullshit, with the nonsense. Fed up with the lying system. Fed up with this racist white supremacist system continuing to treat us like garbage. We're fed up. Okay? That's what we know. What else do we know? We know that the majority of the protesters out there that are black are not looting and rioting. We know that. We know that there are agent provocateurs of other races, from what I've seen, mostly Latino and white people who are out there wreaking havoc and causing chaos to sully up, to sully the peaceful nature of the protesting against police violence against black people. So what does America do? Let's talk about what we know. We know that as soon as the people start to peacefully protest, they have the riot police out there in their gear, ready to bust heads and hurt people. That's what they're out there for. Because we know, as black people, that white supremacy likes to hire white psychopaths and sociopaths and people who have serious issues. Not supremacy. This isn't supremacy. They have inferiority complexes. We know these are the type of individuals that the police departments like to hire. Amongst the white race, that is. Those who don't mind being criminals, backed by the badge. Let's talk about what else we know. We know that groups like Antifa, white groups like Antifa, are out there. There is video out there capturing them, spray painting buildings and putting Black Lives Matter on that. Let's talk about what we know. We know that white people always try to hijack whatever protest or movement we start. We know that on top of hijacking it, they like to try and sabotage the good work that we try to put in. And sully it up and dirty it up, put mud on it and shit, you know? Because that looks good for white supremacy. If they can say that our people are in the streets acting like animals. Which justifies them sending in the police and the military to murder and hurt innocent people. We know that white people and a lot of non-black people are out in the streets geared up in their riot gear, just bursting windows, throwing Molotov cocktails at cops like the white women, I believe in New York it was, setting buildings on fire. We know this. We know that everybody who's looting and rioting aren't just non-black people. There are some of us out there doing that. Sure there are. There are some of us out there doing that. But for the most part, it's not us. Let's talk about what we know. The people have had enough. And white supremacy is fucking scared. They're scared now. Because they're not urging people to social distance. Even though they keep trying to slide that COVID-19 shit in. They keep trying to attack you with that level of fear mongering. I heard something interesting from a white cop today. On YouTube actually. And he pretty much says that, now I don't know how accurate this is, but he says that 60% of the new COVID cases reported are from people who've actually been isolated in their homes. Chew on that for a second. What else do we know? We know that white politicians, not even white, because if you're a politician in America, we know you're not worth a fuck. Because politicians haven't done shit for black people. We all know that. We know that the politicians that are in the media right now talking about this situation are trying to bolster their support for the elections coming up in November. We know this, that the Democratic Party is using this opportunity to get Trump out of office so that they can get back into the office of the presidency. Let's talk about what we know. We know that the black bootlicks are out there en masse trying to lick white nuts so they can get a paycheck by throwing us under the bus. They continue to put these black bootlicks in front of us that keep talking the same fucking nonsense. Intersectionality. Black and brown coalitions and minority coalitions. They keep on trying to derail the conversation from what are you going to do for black people. They keep trying to derail every conversation and every instance and talk about this shit that doesn't matter. I listened to a black woman today. I'm not even gonna call her a sister because of the foolery, the bullshit she tried to pull. She started off talking about Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and she literally ended her little spiel talking about intersectionality and violence against homosexuals and transgenders in the black community. Who in the fuck is talking about that right now? Who's talking about that right now? I'm not saying that homosexuals don't have their challenges that they gotta face with, but are you fucking kidding me? Seriously, who the fuck is out in the streets just beating the shit out of gay people right now? Who the fuck in the black community is terrorizing homosexuals right now? Get the fuck out of here. George Floyd was just murdered with 3 white supremacists on his back and his neck and his body. Breonna Taylor was just murdered, butt naked in the comfort of her own home with her man. Ahmaud Arbery was murdered jogging down the fucking street. Let's talk about what we do know. We know that the white people that are out there marching and protesting with us, we know that these motherfuckers are just trying to save face. They don't want you to look at them like we're looking at the rest of white supremacy. See, they are the covert white supremacists. They just don't want to end up under our fucking boot. But the instant they get the opportunity to, they will sell your ass out. Because let's talk about what we know. Where are the organizations and coalitions of white people against white supremacy? Because I got to tell you, I've literally only heard 2 white people actually speak out against white supremacy and actually call it by their name and talk about how absolutely fucking stupid it is to actually combat it itself. I've only heard 2 white people actually do this. Jane Elliott and I can't think of the fat white dude name, but he comes out every so often. I run across one of his videos every so often about him talking about how full of shit white people are and what their real motives and intents are. He keeps it 100. So far as what he's talking about, what he does, I don't know. But we know that the white people that are out there protesting right now with our people that are out in the streets, we know that they don't have our back. We know they're not going to go back to their community and say, we need to pass legislation to make black people a protected class of people in this country and make violence against them a hate crime and a federally mandated crime. We know they're not going to do that. You know how we know that? Because in all of the fucking years of black people protesting and rising up, the white people that have walked beside us haven't done any of these fucking things. They've ended up going into politics and into Congress, like your boy Bernie Sanders, and completely ignoring and shitting on black people and what we need and what we want. And telling us that what we want is unfeasible while they sign off $10 trillion for the corporations and the fucking Asian businesses. This is what we know. We know that the white media is on a campaign to try and discredit the situation. But what they're going to do, what they're doing right now, first is they're acting like they're all for it. They're talking about it. They want the people to think that they're with us. They want the people to think that, yeah, we want to back you, because they don't want, CNN doesn't want to come under attack again. Fox News doesn't want to happen to them what happened to CNN. They don't want that shit. These people don't want to get caught out in the streets and get fucking super sopped by somebody because they went on the fucking news and tried to discredit some black person who was murdered by the fucking white supremacist race soldiers. They don't want to do that. So we know they're going to try and make themselves look like they're our friends. We know they're going to try to do that. And they're doing it right now. Don't be fucking fooled. A couple of things that we do not fucking need any more of. We do not need any more fucking symbolism. We don't need any more symbolism. Symbolism doesn't mean a fucking thing. We can't do shit with symbolism. We got all the fucking symbols in the fucking world, and white supremacy still has their fucking boot on our neck. We don't fuck symbolism. We don't need any more symbolism. Obama was a symbol. And look at what the fuck we got from that. We don't need symbolism. We don't need a hug. And I don't give a fuck about how many white people are just appalled by this. Who gives a fuck how you feel? I want to know what the fuck you're going to do. Oh my gosh, this is such a horrible thing. Oh my gosh. Fuck you bitches. We know y'all. We know that you people are not going to stand up and actually help us take down white supremacy. You want to know why? Because this is what we know. You motherfuckers benefit from white supremacy and you know it. You benefit from white supremacy and you know it. You may not hate black people, but you don't love us enough to give up your fucking privilege. We know that. We know that. We know it. 500 years of living in this white supremacist nation. And what has changed for us? We still own half of 1% of all the wealth in this country, just as we did during slavery. Imagine that. It is projected in the next 20 or 30 years or so that the median black wealth will be down to zero. So we're actually losing more than we've actually gained in this country. Just because a couple of niggas can tell some jokes, you know what I'm saying, put on a dress and a wig and act like a broad on a fucking TV screen, or run and jump and catch a fucking ball, does not mean that white supremacy is over. And that shit is not reparations. Let's talk about what we know. We know we got white supremacy right back on their heels. We know that we don't need to let up. This needs to be the new way of doing things. We need to be in the streets and stay in the streets and stay on their fucking helmet. We need to continue this. This is what we know. Because we know we don't have any allies. Think about this. This is what I know. On all over social media, Instagram, Twitter, all that shit, you got all these non-black people, all these quote-unquote fake-ass allies posting all these memes and, yeah, black lives, blah, 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 and stop all the violence and it hurts all of us. While it was trending, now that the trending spree has kind of started to plateau a little bit, where the fuck is the support at? Because, and I want you guys to hear this, all of the non-black people out there who may listen to this, and if not, who gives a fuck? But this is what we want you guys to know that we know. See, while you can afford to put on your black face for a couple of days or so to give up some phony ass support so you don't offend any black people that you know, because that's all it's about. That's all it's about. You don't want to lose whatever the fuck benefit you get from us. So you do that shit. You put on airs. We've been black for 500 years. We've been black forever. But we've been black in this country for 500 years. We don't get to take off our black face and go back to the way it was for us. Because the way it was for us yesterday is the way it's going to be today and tomorrow until we change it. We don't get to not be black. You get to not support us. You can delete a post. I can't delete my fucking skin color. I can't delete where the fuck I'm from. I can't delete what I know and what I've seen and what I've witnessed. So for all of you fake ass black supporters out there, if your ass ain't gonna ride 24/7, 365 days out of a fucking year, 366 leap years, Fuck you, who needs you? Because let's be honest, we don't have any allies and we don't fucking need them. We are over 1 billion strong on the planet Earth. Over 1 billion strong on the planet Earth. What in the fuck do we need you for? I just want you guys to know that. I know that all of you non-black motherfuckers out there that were supposedly caping for us don't really mean that shit. Because as soon as it's not trending, you're not talking about it anymore. I can't take off my black. But you chose to fucking be phony as shit in light of this situation and act like you're riding with us. And as soon as the attention dies down and you're not getting a bunch of likes on fucking Instagram or fucking Twitter, you go right back to what shit used to be. Being a fucking enemy. Getting your jollies out of ganging up on us and kicking us while we're down. Like I said before, when we move, the whole fucking world moves. We're starting to recognize that we have that power. So I just want all you motherfuckers to know, all you phony motherfuckers to know, we know who you are. The lines have been drawn in the sand and we know who you are. There is no turning back. Because once again, I'll say this for the last time and I'll end the video. You can pick and choose to be somebody who supports black people, but I can't pick and choose whether I put on my black face or not. I gotta live this shit every day. While you just talk shit for a couple of days, I gotta live this shit every day. Think about that, you pussies.